check. I think I should be audible. Yep, I am audible. Okay, fair enough. Alright, I think everything is running well. So, greetings, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you may be in the world. Welcome back to Aero League Racing Season 18 of the GR3 Championship. This is round 7 for Tier 4 Blue around Fuji. Every time I've said this intro, I've said it in a different manner. Greetings, Morrison. I see you're down P8, but you're P1 in the chat here, so welcome. Always good to have you here with us. Well, let's go. Without any further ado, let's get going with the grid order. So we have, I think it's NTOS who has had a fantastic qualifying starting in P1 in the Purple Beast, Slavman in P2. And the two Jags are very close together, Slav and Tetrapolis. They've always been around about the top 6, I think, for most of the season. So they've shown some pretty good, consistent pace, much akin to NTO and Jin and so on. Well, I'm sure you're going to have a better race, Morrison. I see you down the order. I will eventually get towards you as well. Jin is presently in, Jin is in P, is qualified P4. I don't believe I've seen this before. J Nick, unless I'm forgetting something. J Nick in the BMW is in P5. McLaren in P6. So a much better start to the weekend for McLaren this time around. I think it was Le Mans last time around where he was 11th, I think, or 12th for the qualifying in the main race. JP is down in 7th, so a few places behind his teammate, and Morrison is quite a ways behind his teammate. But given the pace that he's exhibited over the course of the season, I'm expecting that detriment to be very quickly nullified for Morrison in the other Purple Beast, Adam in P9, and Eric of Canada. That's a very nice patriotic way to go about it. Eric of Canada in P10 in the Lamborghini, and with a nice livery, I must say. Those are some very nice decals. Fred is P11 and right behind his teammate. Moncon in P12 and Revolute in 13th place. So we have a 13 driver grid. It's not a pack lobby, I think, as such, but still 13 drivers is gonna make the race very interesting. 10 laps of the sprint. Well, let's go. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and when the lights go out, they go racing. It seems to be a good start for NTO, a very good start actually. I think it's Tetro who's got the other decent start. Janik, I think, has moved up a place. But the two Jags are going to follow NTO as you go towards turn 1. Are we going to see some chaos further back? I think it's Janik. Actually, he's got a good run out of turn 1, but I'm assuming it's Tetrapolis, who seems to be lagging a little bit. Although I think, yeah, it is Janik who's got the better exit out of turn 1, and Tetrapolis falls down to P4 under threat from Gin Tonics over P4. So I think it's alright. Morrison's also moved up a few places, but what a launch NTO got off the line there. That was fantastic. I'm pretty sure he'll be very pleased with that. Slavman and P2 will also be rather happy that he still held position, although there's a very feisty Janik right behind him. The BMW seems to be working well, and Morrison's confidence, I think, is coming alive here. He's already moving up the field. He's already up into P5. He's made up 3 places, and that could be 4. For P4, Tetrapolis' position is here for the taking. Morrison tries to move down the inside, but Tetrapolis covers it off. The Jag covers off the Mercedes, and that was Jin who has gone slightly onto the grass there. I think that was just trying to avoid some possible contact with Morrison and Tetrapolis. There's a bit of chaos going on here. I see somebody's got a penalty. Is that Fred? That is Fred in the Porsche's got a penalty. Oh, McLaren being slightly hit there by Moncon as we go towards the final corner. This is going to be interesting to see the differing lines that the drivers take. Fred gets a decent exit, although I think it won't really amount to much. He has the penalty to contend with. McLaren has fallen down the order. I'm pretty sure it was P6. He's down to P11. That is not the direction you want to go. He's gone backwards at the start. Revolute has held position more or less. He's Then from P13 to P11, Eric of Canada has fallen back a little bit. And as we go towards turn 1, I think there's a battle brewing here between Tetrapolis and Morrison. Morrison has overtaken Tetrapolis. Let's see if the Jaguar has anything to play with here. Janic also, well, I should have a look at that. So going into turn 1, oh, it's a simple move. Underbraking, Janic gets the move done on Slavman. That I think all comes down to the exit out of the last corner. So I was not expecting, but Janic is really hassling the established pack here. With the likes of NTO, Slavman, Morrison all being behind the BMW here, the 141 BMW. Let's see if Janic can dispatch NTO in the next few corners. Going through this long right-hander into this braking zone. It's a tricky one to get right. You can make a mistake and it can derail your momentum going towards the chicane. But I think Janic's got a good exit here. The British BMW driver. As we go towards the chicane, let's have a look if we're going to see a move being made here. NTO is not covering the inside. He doesn't have to. Janic's a little further back. What about JP? JP thought of trying a move down the inside of Tetrapolis, but decided against it. Adam in P7. Jin has gone backwards as well. It's not been a very pleasant start for him, I think. Down to P8. McLovin also going backwards. Moncon making up a few places. I think it's 2 places from P11 to P9. Revolit, oh, he's lost a position somehow. Revolit back down to P12, and Eric is not having a very pleasant time. But up front, I think for the most part it's settled. Oh, never mind. That is Janic who's picked up a penalty. Let's have a look why. So it all seemed to be fine and dandy for him. Has he gone over the... I can't see anything specific that would have resulted in him getting the penalty. So let's have a look here. So why has the... Oh, that's why. I missed the corner entry there. So Janic with the 1 second penalty as we go towards the final corner. This is a very tricky one to get right. Janic tries moved on the inside and goes draws alongside NTO, although with this penalty it won't really amount to much. Janic will have to slow down. Slavman will retake P2, and there you go. Janic is stumbling down the order. Will Tetrapolis be able to get him as well? I think he will. He'll be able to breeze past. What about JP? Can JP get past Janic? The 2 drivers whose initials begin with J. JP gets past the BMW driver up into P5, and we are seeing a battle for the lead here between NTO and Slavman. NTO going for the switchback there, as you would expect him to. And Slavman still staying in P2. This seems to be feisty, and look at who is joining the battle here. A very familiar face. It is T. Morrison 94 in the other purple beast. The two. Slavman is in a bit of a problematic situation here. He's got a purple beast ahead and behind him. That is going to be it's a daunting prospect, I think, if you're considering how tricky it can be, and this is really, really problematic. So if you can have a look from Tetro's onboard here, Slavman really... I'm assuming there's a little bit of team play going on here between the two purple beasts, but are we going to see any moves being made here? Are we going to see everybody hold position, hold station? Through this tight right-hander we go into the left-hander. This is a very tricky corner in the normal circumstances, but with cars around you it becomes even more trickier. Although, having said that, everybody gets through cleanly and holds position. Janic is trying to make a move, but I think it's JP who's going to end up making the move here. JP gets past a struggling Tetrapolis. Oh, that's JP having a little bit of a snap there of oversteer. And what's going on here? NTO versus Slavman once again. NTO falls back to P2 and Slavman to P1. There is battles going on. Oh, there's so many battles. Thank you, TFO Blue. You always make the races interesting. Janic and Adam battling away, JP and Tetro battling it out, NTO and Slavman battling it out. Which battle do I follow? I have a buffet of choices here, effectively. Slavman into turn 1. Let's see if he covers the inside and if he's able to hold off NTO's charge. Will NTO be able to go for a switchback like he did last lap? Not this time around. NTO has to hold on to P2. Will we see a swap in positions between P2 and P3, the two purple beasts? I don't think so. I think Morrison will just hang on behind his teammate for now. It seems like Slavman got a little bit out of shape there. And what's going on here with the likes of Tetrapolis and Jin and Janic? Janic seems to be tumbling down the order. I think his momentum has really been halted by that penalty. And I think is that Jin is slowly closing up to Tetropolis. So Tetro's fallen back. He will not be very happy with that. He's lost a position to JP, to Adam, and he's now coming under pressure from Jin as well. So, well, this is really the battle we want to be looking out for, isn't it? NTO versus Morrison as we go through the chicane. And this is not something I really expected. I thought there would be some team orders at play here, but Morrison actually is pretty damn feisty here. This is a good battle between the two Mercedes cars, and JP in P4, I think he'll just want to hold on to position for now. You can see the three ahead of him are battling it out, but he will not be doing himself any favors if he keeps having rear end snaps like that. I think it's the same corner 2 laps in a row that he's had the issue at, so maybe he needs to be a little more cautious and throttle there. Adam silently risen up the order. He's now up to P5. Tetro's still in P6. What about J-Nick? J-Nick has lost a lot of ground. Down to P10 J-Nick. And McLaren's not too far behind. Eric's a little too far back. Revolut is just... I don't think it's the track and car combination is particularly gelling with Revolut. Up front, are we seeing any battles here between the positions 2 and 3? Nope. I think NTO will be able to hold off his teammate for now at least. What about the likes of JP and Captain Adam? So JP was struggling with the rear end traction. We saw him lose the rear end. I think it's twice in the course of 2 laps. Is it going to be causing him any issues here? Adam looks to be very feisty. Adam can just P4 right there. It's right in front of him, and right in front of Morrison is NTO. And there's an opportunity here for Morrison. Are we going to see a move down the inside? Teammate on teammate. Let's see if he's going to go for the move here. Nope. I think that's smart. No point taking the risk there. And what about JP? Are we going to see JP able to hold position here? JP has struggled in this section of track. For the past 2 laps, it's going to be 3 in a row. Is Adam going to have his lucky break here to be able to get past JP? This is the corner. It's the moment of truth. And let's have a look. JP takes it carefully. It's actually Adam who loses the rear end slightly. Tetro's not really enjoying it. Slavman is having a great time out in front. Out in P1. He's got a bit of a gap to NTO. It's not something that he can... well, he cannot kick his speed up already. He still has to be wary of the 2 very quick purple beasts right behind him, and this is something that I think has been in the making here. JP coming under pressure from Adam. Adam's been pretty feisty, and he can spot an opportunity here into turn 1. Under braking, are we going to see the Porsche and the Genesis swap positions? Oh, there's a bit of contact there. JP forced slightly wide, and Adam up into P4. Tetro's too far back to capitalize on any possible moments between these two. They are battling it out, but Tetro's too far back. Although he can, I think he'll be pretty happy here seeing the 2 ahead of him battle it out in the manner that they are. JP's gone a little bit wide there. That could open up an opportunity for the Jaguar driver. Let's have a look. Into the corner we go, and nothing doing here. Up front, however, this is something that is also in the making. So let's have a look. NTO, what's happened to the Frenchman in the Mercedes here? Oh, he's just made a bit of a mistake there into the braking zone, and Morrison moves up into P2. However, NTO is still there. He is still very feisty and very fast. Are we going to see a move being made here? 2nd lap in a row, I think the 2 purple beasts have gone into this corner almost line astern. Although I think this... Oh, it's actually Morrison who's gone a little bit deep there. I thought it was done and dusted for Morrison there, but a little bit of a mistake there. Going a bit deeper into the corner goes Morrison. NTO is there waiting for an opportunity. Pair of them break relatively similar, and into the final corner. Are we going to see a bit of a dive here from NTO? No, he's just going to follow his teammate. Safe as you like. And what about... Oh, we've had... That is Captain Adam. I was going to mention, I heard the Armco being clattered in the background. So let's have a look. Has Adam made the mistake that JP made all these laps? Oh no, that is disastrous for Adam. He was running so well, he was in P4, and he falls down the order, and that's a shame for showing such great pace here. And JP back up into P4, but now he has Tetropolis right behind him. And a very eager Tetropolis, you might say. He's lost some positions, he's lost some ground, but he's not lost his mojo yet. He is still feisty and eager to get P4. Are we gonna see him go for a move here into turn 1? He's too far back, that would not have been logical. And JP hangs on to P4, but it really seemed like JP is struggling with Genesis here. Same goes for Jin. The Genesis guys have not had the most pleasant sprint, I think, by the looks of it. JP is able to hang on to P4, but he's really struggling with some rear interaction here by the looks of it. Janik and Fred battling it out, but I think Janik's comfortably in P7 right now. What about the likes? Oh, that's Moncon and McLovin. McLovin goes onto the grass there slightly and he will lose ground as a result. Revolit goes ahead of the Alpha driver only for a moment, however. McLovin gets back into P10. And I think the final stage of the race is where it's all going to come alive. NTO and Morrison. Well, there's some battles going on in the midfield here. There's a battle for P2. But somebody who's having a very good time here, I think will be very pleased with it, is Slavman. In P1, he's comfortably leading the race. He's broken free of the pack here. I would have expected Morrison to challenge Slavman, but I think it's Slavman has got Mind Machine and Track all in one. He's at one with the car. I think that's what I wanted to say. I said it in a very jumbled up order. But he's comfortable. He's leading, I think, with a gap of about 2 seconds. Are we going to see NTO go for the move here into turn 1 on Morrison? Nope. NTO hangs back. Morrison goes slightly wide. NTO goes for the line to the apex, and no, I think it's NTO who's gonna have to hang on for now. What about these two, JP and Tetrapolis? Are we gonna see a move here? This is an opportunity, but I don't think Tetra will want to take it. It will offset both of their rhythms going into this long right-hander. Was there a little bit of contact there between JP and the Jaguar? Through this long right-hander we go. It is tricky to navigate this corner when you're alone, let alone with a car beside you, but the pair of them do it well, and that's the loss of traction that's plagued GP since the start of the race. Towards the braking zone we go. It's very possible that this could be an opportunity for Tetrapolis. Are we going to see a move? Not this time around, unless he can somehow make it work around the outside. GP goes deep into the corner. Through the chicane we go, and they're just in hold position. What about further back? Is Janik going to replicate some of his moves from earlier on in the race? Somebody's kicked up some grass there. Is that Tetrapolis who was... I think I had to take some evasive action there. JP, he got a bit too close to JP there. Into the last corner we go, and we're about to start the penultimate lap of the race. Slavman is comfortably out in front. You can see he's about to start the 9th lap. And it's getting a bit hazy here. I don't expect it's going to rain, given that most of my predictions for the rain have been wrong over the course of the season. Although I think my prediction that this would be a interesting battle to look out for has not been wrong. Tetro and JP battling it out into turn 1. Who is going to be emerging victorious at the end of this little battle? Tetro covers off JP's switchback and moves up into P4. Jin and Janik also battling it out. Janik, I think it's a very formidable driver he's up against. Jin is not going to let Janik go without a fight. And let's have a look from the BMWs on board. As we go through this long right-hander, there you can see in the distance JP going a little bit wide there. And the clouds are really... it's getting very, very gloomy. Are we going to see some drops of rain, spots of rain before the end of the race? That would spice up things, however, well, only time will tell. Into the braking zone we go. I don't think there's going to be a move being made here. I thought for a moment Janik would go for the move here. And a tactical swap is pretty sensible between the pair of you, but I knew it. So for that, yeah. A tactical swap is smart. I think team play is always good for the race, but Slavman has been incredible in this race. He's been very, very quick, and I think we could still see some swap in position here. Jin does not get the best of exits out of the last corner. That could open up an opportunity for Janik as we start the final lap of this sprint race. Fred in P8, McLaren in P9. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for them. They will be leading the pack as we start the feature race. Janik tries to move around the outside, but I think Jin, being the experienced driver that he is, he will not allow Janik to make the move here, and sensibly so Jin covers off the inside line, but Janik gets a better exit here. BMW versus Genesis. Oh, there's a bit of lag there for Jin as we go towards the corner. Yeah, Jin will hold position. What about Tetro and JP? Tetro is, I think, going to hang on to P4. This is the battle, I think, that we could see before the end of the race. We could see some positions being swapped, possibly. Janik and Jin. What about Fred? McLaren's too far back. Momcon and Revoli. This is a crucial moment here in the race, because P10 obviously gives you pole for the feature race. We'll keep an eye out for these two as well. Actually, I'm just going to have a look at Janik and Jin, and I'm going to switch back to these two. I'm expecting Revoli to be a little bit more aggressive here. P10 will obviously give him P1 for the feature, so I think he should be a little more keen to get that P10. Momcon will be desperate to hang on to it. McLaren is too far ahead, but I'm going to give a little bit of airtime to the likes of Slavman, who's just about to exit the last about to cross the finish line. These guys are about to exit the last corner, and despite differing types of exits, I think they're all going to hold position. And what a drive from Slavman. Wins the race. The two Purple Beasts are going to finish line astern. P2 and P3, they've been inseparable since the time I think they got together. NTO and P3, Tetro P4, and who is going to be P10? I think at the end it is going to be Momcon who will hang on to that all-important P10. Well, it's been a very interesting race, and I think everybody has finished the race. There you go. A good drive by Janik at the start of the race, but it all really fell apart after the penalty that he got. There you go, and that is the end of the sprint. Let's very quickly move on to the feature race. Feature, there you go. And I'm going to very quickly start the replay so that we don't have a chance to accidentally take a gander at the final results. And come on. Alright. So, there you go. Having finished P10 in the sprint, Momcon takes the coveted P1 for the feature race. Start of the feature race, I should say. He is going to start on the hards. McLaren's going to be on the softs. Fred is going to be in the hards. Janik opts for the softs as well. Jin is going to be in the hards. JP is the first driver in the mediums. I would have expected somebody in the top three to opt for the mediums, but it turns out they are thinking otherwise. JP is on the mediums, so is Tetro, so is NTO, so is Morrison, and Slavman breaks that order. He is on the hards. So given the pace that he's shown, I'm expecting Slavman to be moving up the field in a rapid manner. However, he has some very rapid cars ahead of him, the likes of NTO and Morrison. Also, you cannot discount Janik, who is looking very feisty now. He has the advantage of track position, so it will be very interesting to see what he does. Outside the top 10, Revolit is on the mediums, Adam on the hards, and so is Eric of Canada. So I'm going to take a moment, just hydrate myself. And we can begin. 24 laps of the feature race. Coming right up. We can't see the lights, but we can hear them. And when the lights go out, the drivers will go racing. We'll have to keep an eye out for the kinds of launches that these guys get. I think it is Fred who's got a pretty poor launch here. Janik's already attacking him, and he's already passed him for P3. Janik already going at it. He wants to make the moves. He wants to make them quick. Janik has the inside line. Fred has the outside line, but Janik has the advantage of track position as we exit the corner. Further back, I thought I saw two cars. Well, it's four cars who are side by side. Look at this, Slavman and Tio. There's JP and Tetro, and oh my word, there's contact, and that's a spinning Genesis of JP What's happened to Eric? Eric's got a pretty poor start. Despite JP's spin, only now is Eric gonna pass JP, so it's been a pretty shocking start for him there. And I'm gonna just have to change the camera angle. So let's have a look here from Morrison's on board. So, they are inseparable, the Genesis of JP, the two Jaguars, and NTO. So going into the corner, what happens here? Revoleet has hit Morrison. And that is what's caused all the chaos. Adam got through unscathed. That was very close, a very close call for him there. Through this long right-hander we go for the first time. I'm gonna focus on this little battle for now before I switch back to the leaders. So everybody seems to be, well, just jockeying for position here. NTO and Tetro battling it out, and Tetro is ahead. The two Jags are now line astern in 6th and 7th. What about those at the front? There's battles going on up and down the field. J-Nick has made the move on Moncon as well. So let's have a look. This is something that I've not really shown here. So I saw that contact and I switched over to that, but the leaders have had some moments of their own here. Moncon leading the way, but he's missed the apex there. I think that's going to cause him some issues because a very feisty and quick McLovin on softs right behind him. Same goes for J-Nick, who's also on the softs in the BMW. Fred is just waiting to, he's biding his time here. J-Nick goes with the move down the inside. Moncon on those hards has no grip on this first lap of the race. It's now J-Nick and McLovin as we go towards the braking zone. Are we going to see a move being made here between J-Nick and McLovin? J-Nick tries to move around the outside, does he? Into the braking zone we go, and that's a very quick Moncon trying to go for a move here, and that might just allow Fred to get up into P3 as well. Nope, J-Nick covers it off. Moncon into P2. McLovin takes the lead of the race, and it's J-Nick who's sliding around trying to get past Moncon into this braking zone we go. The left-hander just before the final corner of the racetrack. Are we going to see J-Nick attempt to move down the inside? A little bit of a switchback possibly. Nope, Moncon hasn't covered off, but it is actually J-Nick who gets the best exit, and they're going to be well, line astern as we start the second lap. Moncon has fallen down the order. Jin, I think, has had a bit of a quiet lap one. He'll be glad for that because it's been real chaos further down the field. What's happened to Morrison? He's lost a position to Adam, so obviously something's gone wrong there for him. Into happen. I should be focusing on this battle here. We will run through the order a little bit later on. J-Nick and Moncon, that's McLovin who is having a good time. Fred goes a bit deep into the corner there. Jin will be very keen to see that. Moncon has gone deep into the corner. He's lost his position to J-Nick, and I'm assuming J-Nick will just tie these corners together well so that he breaks away from the fast charging Mercedes. Jin on those hards, well, positions 3, 4 and 5 are all on the hards. We have, Slavman is also on the hards. Tetro is the first car on the mediums. The two Jags are battling it out, and there's a little bit of contact there. I don't think that will be very appreciated on the Jaguar pit wall. And something that will be appreciated on the Genesis pit wall will be this move that Jin is lining up into the braking zone we go, and Fred loses the position to Jin. Jin has been, I think, on it since the get-go of this race. He's made the move up into P4, and there's a little bit of contact there, but I think Fred braked just in time. Jin sliding, Fred sliding, and Jin's up into P4. Moncon hangs on to P3, but up front it seems like McLovin is coming under pressure from J-Nick. J-Nick's putting the Alfa Romeo under quite a bit of pressure, and he's actually made it stick. I thought McLovin would get the best exit there out of the corner, last corner. But as we start lap 3, it is J-Nick who has taken the lead of the race, although there's a very quick McLovin right behind him. As we go towards turn 1, the camera angles is too much to follow here. McLovin breaks a little bit later here. Is that going to prove beneficial for him? J-Nick has the inside line, but McLovin gets the better exit. That's why he broke late. But as we go towards the corner, is J-Nick going to yield? Who is going to be the first to break and just bail out if possible contact there. Yeah, it's Janik who has to back off, exits out of the chicane there, but it's Janik who has the penalty. So once again, a 1 second penalty is going to plague Janik's progress here, and he is, I think, getting a bit frustrated here, having to chase after cars. Goes over the curbing once again. No more penalties, I hope, for Janik. Going through the last corner, no matter what exit he gets, he will have to slow down in a few moments' time. McLaren doesn't get the best of exits, but he will hold on to P1. Moncon is just about holding on to P3. And there's a very fast charging Jin, Fred, Tetro all behind him. Slavman's progress has been consistent, I'd say. He's on the hard. He's obviously had a bit of chaos further back. Morrison has managed to get back into the top 10. He's now behind his teammate. Are we going to see a tactical swap once again? Are we going to see a swap for position here between Jin and Moncon? Whoa, that was a bit close. Janek obviously with this penalty having to slow down there. This is getting interesting here. The battle for P3. Moncon leads Jin, leads Fred, leads Tetro, and Slavman's not too far behind either. Are we going to see Jin go for a move here into the braking zone? I don't think this time around we're going to see any moves being made. Tetro on those mediums, he'll be very eager to get past these guys. They will only be it's only a detriment for his race to have them slow him down effectively. But this is getting feisty between Jin and Moncon. Into the braking zone we go. Are we going to see Jin make the move? Well, actually it's Fred who's also getting involved here. Fred is putting Jin under pressure, and Fred, I'm assuming, will be able to get past Jin. Will Jin go for the switchback? Will Fred go for the switchback? Nope. Well, Fred goes for the switchback, but there's a little bit of contact. Tetro and the Porsche make contact, and that's... well, there's a lot of contact there. I've said the word contact too many times over the past few moments. But they're all inseparable right now. Jin goes a little bit off circuit there. That's not going to help his cause. Moncon will hold on to P3. Janek has already bridged the gap to McLaren by a significant margin. However, you need to look at the state of his tires here, especially his front left. It's not going to hang on, I think, beyond the next 3 laps or so. It's going to start to cause him a lot of issues. Jin and Fred side by side. Fred and Tetro side by side, and that's Fred who's gone a bit deep into the corner there. He might just lose the position to Tetro. He does. What about Slavman? Slavman's a bit too far back. Fred has lost the position to the Jag. I think he will back out of the corner here. No, that's Tetro who's had to take some evasive action, but it is Fred who has lost out the most in that little battle. I would have expected him to yield and just follow Tetro for the time being there. But it's Slavman who's trying to go for the move here on Fred and gets past the Porsche driver. And it's now Fred down to P7, and there's a very familiar name here. Morrison is right behind Fred. He's not had the best of race starts as Morrison, but he's not going to let that hold him back. He is going to want to make moves and make them quick. Jin coming under pressure from medium short Tetropolis. Tetro will be very keen to get past the Genesis. Moncon, well, through thick and thin, Moncon has somehow managed to hold on to P3. Props to him. And Janek has bridged the gap to McLaren, but it's really a very dire situation here. I'm expecting at the end of the next lap, which is lap 6, I would expect Janek to dive into the pit lane. He's extracted all he could from this tire, and I think he's done all he could do. Tetro and Jin side by side. Tetro got the better exit, I think, out of that corner, but they will still go side by side, wheel to wheel into turn 1. Who is going to be emerging from turn 1 in the lead? Oh, that's Jin off circuit there. That's a bit of, I think, snap overstay there. Wow, I saw a Porsche wing off circuit as well. I think that's Fred, who's lost the position to NTO. So the Porsche guys are not having a very good time. Fred and Adam is also struggling. Revolit might just be able to make the move here. And Jin is coming under pressure from 2 purple beasts. That is not a sight you want to see in your mirrors here. Jin coming under pressure from Morrison. And while they are battling it out, NTO sniffs an opportunity here. Into the braking zone we go. Are we going to see any moves being made? I would expect some moves being made here. Morrison down the inside. Are we going to see the Purple Beast move up into P6? I think we are. Oh, that's Jin having a 360. Well done to Jin if he's managed to get the 360 done there. He won't be happy with it, but it is a 360 nonetheless. So into the corner we go. Nobody hit him, but I think it's a case of lag there. At least on the replay, nobody's hit him. I'm sure something different happened on Jin's screen there, but the Genesis driver falls to P11, and he's ahead of his teammate. That is, well, rather disappointing for the Genesis pair. They were very, very quick, and now they find themselves outside the top 10. Revo Elite has made up a few places as a result. NTO is a little bit behind his teammate, and as I expected, Janik into the pit lane. Tetro has got past Moncon. He got the better exit out of the last corner, and as we start lap 7, Tetro will be up into P2. Yeah, exactly. It's there's a bit of phantom contact sometimes. I've seen it in F1. Now I'm seeing it in GT7 as well. It's phantom contact versus all sorts of racing games. And I think in Jin's perspective there may have been a bit of lag. I think there was a replay that he shared in which we could see a bit of lag on his screen as well. So maybe something up with his internet. McLovin leads. He has a significant margin. However, he will have to come into the pits within I would assume the next 2 laps or so. Tetro has got past Moncon. He now has a bit of free air ahead of him, so he will be looking to make the most of it. Slavman showed amazing pace in the sprint. Will he be able to replicate that over the next few laps? He has a bit of free air himself. Moncon's a few seconds up the road, but unfortunately for Slavman, he has a very, very quick and fast charging Team Morrison right behind him. Into the braking zone we go. I'm assuming NTO is not going to give Morrison any trouble here, no matter how close the NTO gets. It's good to see some tactical team play here, and Revo Elite tries the alternate line there through the corner, but NTO's position is not there for the taking, not right now at least. McLovin comes into the pits. I would have expected him to go another lap. I think he's going to go on to the hards. Well, I went 8 laps on the softs in my race, so I also drive the Alpha, much like McLovin, so I would have expected him to go another lap or so. It looks like he had enough tyre wear. I'm keen to see where McLovin comes out in regards to Janik. So McLovin taking his time in the pit lane, fueling up his car, and he is going to emerge alongside but behind Janik. I thought it was going to be alongside. Fred and Jin battling it out, and Fred gets ahead of Jin. So the Genesis pair will be pretty displeased with how the race has unfolded. And well, we do have some battles going on here. Let's keep an eye out for this. For the battle for P9 and P10. Also the battle for P3, Morrison versus Slavman, and NTO not too far behind either. So this is the perfect situation, I think, for the Purple Beast. Morrison gets a good switch back here, although Slavman still has track position. Tetro has taken the lead, so I have missed that as well. Have I? No, sorry. Made a bit of a mistake there. Let's focus on this. Morrison and Slavman into the braking zone we go. Morrison trying to move around the outside, or maybe he just missed his braking point there, which is going to open up the door for NTO, although I think given that there's some team play going on, NTO will slightly lift off and let Morrison retake the position and set after Slavman. That is unfortunately going to put him under pressure from Revo Elite, who is, I think, coming alive in the feature race. The sprint may not have gone his way, but that doesn't mean the feature has to go similarly. Into the last corner we go, and Morrison does not get a very good exit. In fact, he's gone slightly off circuit there, and I'm assuming NTO will he go for the move here? I would assume so, but it doesn't seem like he is going to go for the move here. He will not attack his teammate, and is actually giving his teammate a bit of a bump draft there. That's nice to see. And team play into turn 1. Morrison will stay in P4, NTO will stay in P5. And Revoli could not capitalize on that. I'm a little surprised. I thought he would get a good exit out of the last corner, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Moncon has a penalty. That will be problematic for him in P2. Morrison once again sets off the Slavman. This is where we saw them get close to one another in the previous lap. Are we going to see Morrison hassle Slavman once again? I'm keen to see what their strategies are going to be like. I'm expecting Slavman to go onto the softs, possibly. Morrison, I'm not sure. The front doesn't look very compliant in regards to tire wear. That was a problem, I think, with every car. So Morrison and NTO on the mediums. NTO tires are in better condition right now. I would expect them to go into the hards within the next 2 laps or so, possibly. Maybe at the end of this very lap. Momcon's penalty will have him slow down. So strategy is going to come into play here. Tetro leads the way. He's got clear air ahead and behind him. Moncon will have to slow down. Will that allow Slavman to make it a Jaguar 1-2? So Moncon's penalty slowing him down. His momentum has been slightly halted. Slavman is arriving at speed, but I don't think it's going to amount to much. Well, Moncon, I think, will still be able to hold on to P2, or will he into the braking zone we go? Moncon goes deep. Is that going to allow Slavman to get the better exit here? Jaguar versus Mercedes. I think Moncon will hold on to P2 for the time being, but Slavman trying to move down the inside, is he? I think he just have to hang on to it. And who is this? NTO has been overtaken by Revolit. And that's a neat move by Revolit. He's made it in turn 1. NTO will not be very pleased with that. And into the left-hander we go. I think Adam might have a shot at getting past the Purple Beast as well. Through the long right-hander we go. Are we going to see a move being made here? Is NTO going to try to retake the position that he's just lost to Revolit? I don't think he is. He will have to hang on to P6 for the time being. What about Jin? Jin and JP Linus turn. Fred. It's a bit of a quiet race for Fred. Eric is also having a rather lonely race. Nick and McLovin. Okay, they've gone for split strategies. Nick has gone for the mediums, McLovin for the hards. I think Nick knows that the his tires are wearing out at a pretty rapid rate. We will get back to that in a moment here. Moncon versus Slavman, a bit of contact entering the braking zone, and Slavman goes wide. That's going to open up the door for Morrison, although Slavman gets a better exit. And we go to the braking zone, there's contact, and Morrison has to go a little bit wide there, and that allows Revolit to move up into P4. Are we going to see a move here by Revolit to get P3? Possibly. It seems to be on the cards here for the McLaren driver. Into the last corner we go, and I don't think Revolit has got the move done here. Slavman gets a good exit and hangs on to P3. NTO and Morrison, I think they've finally inadvertently swapped places here, but it's not over yet. Lap 11 has just begun, and the battle for P3 is getting heated. NTO trying a move on Revolit into turn 1. Will Revolit be able to do anything about it? He has a car ahead, and behind him he's in a bit of a sandwich here. That's going to hamper his progress, and that's going to allow NTO to almost draw alongside. Morrison, I think, will ideally should just back out slightly here. No, they swap positions, and Revolit runs a bit deep into that corner there. That allows Morrison to get into P4. So this is the perfect tactical swap here between these two, if that was supposed to be the case. And NTO's not been left to dry either. NTO's got a good exit here. Revolit seems to be struggling a little bit, having just gone off circuit as well. He is in P5, he's not too far behind Morrison, but he has a very, very quick NTO right behind him. NTO on the mediums, obviously, Revolut also on the mediums. Yeah, it's Adam on the hards, I was going to mention. I was wondering which of these guys are on the hards. So, this is an incredible battle that we're seeing here. NTO v Revolut. NTO makes the move down the inside. Revolut will have the inside line for the next corner, however, but he's not got the best exit there. Adam thought about making a move, and is that a mistake by Morrison? Has Morrison just made a bit of a mistake there because he was very close to NTO? I thought there was ample gap there, so I think, yeah, Morrison's gone a bit deeper into the corner there. NTO's got the ideal line, and they are once again line astern and in the same order that they were. Morrison ahead of NTO, Revolut down to P6. Adam will be looking to make the move, although I don't think there's going to be any swaps for position here. However, as I say that, Slavman's about to prove me wrong. There is possible swap for position coming as we start lap 12, and that is NTO into the pit lane. Interesting, I would have expected him to possibly go another lap, but I think he just wants to play it safe, go into the hards and take no chances with the strategy here. Slavman is taking a chance with making a move, and he's up into P2. Tetro is comfortably ahead in P1. He seems to be very much in charge of this feature race. Slavman under pressure from Moncon, but I don't think it's going to amount to much here. Moncon in P3 is just going to hang on to his position. Morrison's a bit too far back. Revolut, I think will be keen to just get close to Morrison once again. He's showing some decent pace here, Revolut. Slavman is not going to get away scot-free here, having taken Moncon's P2. Moncon is very keen to retake that position, and he will want to get back onto the second position of the rostrum. Morrison's behind the pair of them, but they are pretty quick, I must say. Moncon and Slavman, I think they're gonna hang on to their positions for now. Tetro is, well, what's he gonna do in terms of strategy? So he can back off a little bit here, he can conserve his tires and possibly could he do what is it? I think that's Morrison into the pit lane. I think it is, yeah. Morrison pits. Fred and J-Nick battling it out. J-Nick's obviously pitted quite early on in the race, and they are drawing level as you go towards turn 1. Who is going to be the last of the late breakers, or who's going to get the best exit? Let's have a look. Fred seems to have the advantage, but I think J-Nick, yeah, Fred has the advantage. I thought for a moment J-Nick would get some incredible drive out of the first corner. However, he still has the inside line as we go towards the braking zone. This left-hander, Fred will hold on to P6. Adam is having a bit of quiet race. NTO, hello. How are you? Yes, that is a signature comment that you leave every time, and I'm very glad to see it. Purple Beast indeed. A pair of you have pitted, so I'm very keen to see what tires you've opted for. Yeah, NTO has gone for the hards, but Morrison has gone for the softs. They've pitted one lap apart, so obviously there is some different strategies going on here. Which is going to pay off? I'm a little bit worried for Morrison here because he's effectively going to have to do half the race distance on the softs. I'm a little worried. Given the tire wear I have seen Morrison's softs, it's going to be a bit of a uphill battle here for him. Tetro's pitted, McLovin is also pitted, I've missed that. So, alright, there's battles going on. Revolut v Moncon. Moncon is, sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I think it's going to be good because we're going to see a bit of a battle here. Revolut versus Moncon, the last corner, and yeah, he's not having a very good time, Moncon. He's tumbling down the order. Tetro's pitting. What tires is he going to go for? Is he going to go for the hards, or is he going to take the risk and go onto the softs? Slavman can go longer. He is, I'm sure, going to want to opt for the soft tires. Moncon and Revolit are going to go into turn 1 very close to one another. Revolit is he's going to have to hold on to P3. A few people are in the pit lane, so let's see where Tetropolis has emerged in regards to Morrison. It will be close. Tetro is not taking any chances, but he has taken his chances with the braking there. He's gone way too deep into that corner, and there's going to be a very fast charging Morrison behind him. However, Morrison's really going to have to nurse his tires by the end of the race. I think around about lap 20 is where we're going to see Morrison, unless he wants to pit again. Does he want to pit again? Morrison, I think you're in the chat here. Are you going to pit again? Tetro in the chat. Hello, Tetropolis. It's a reasonable strategy, but it was not the best braking out of the pit lane here. I think we're going to follow this battle here. Morrison versus the Jaguar. Mercedes v Jaguar. Are we going to see Morrison go for a move? Purple sector. I don't know, is that sector 2? I'm used to F1 analogies here. Morrison makes the move and gets ahead of Tetropolis. However, I'm assuming he's going to pit again. It's only going to be for tires. Well, is that some tactical team play by tactical strategy work there by you, NTU? I think NTU, you are trying to possibly play some mind games here with Morrison, is it? I'm very keen to see how it goes between these two. Slavman has managed to break free from the battling pack behind him, all of whom have to pit, including Slavman. Janik is pitted earlier on, but he will also have to pit. Fred has not pitted either. So this leaves Morrison in the net lead of the race. He's setting purple sectors and he's already got a bit of a gap to Tetro. Let's see. Well, Andrew, I think you are decent at tire management, and McLavin's not. Had a very good run there, and that's going to allow NTO to move up into P9. McLavin down to P10. Is not having a very good time, is McLavin. JP and Jin, the two Genesis guys, battling it out. JP's tires are slightly more worn out, so I'm assuming he's pitted a lap before Jin. Are we going to see a move here? Jin v JP. Is JP going to go wide as a result of Jin's dummy move? I think he did, but Jin wasn't able to really capitalize on it. And through the section we go. I'm going to have a look up front. Oh! Moncon going very slowly into the pit lane for some reason. I thought for a moment it was an issue here. So Revolit and Adam, I think they're gonna go. I think they're trying to get him to Revolit's slipstream, and then they very quickly realize that he is pitting and they don't want to do so. Moncon is cautiously coming into the pit lane. He does not want to pick up a penalty here. He's getting rid of those hard tires, and I'm keen to see what strategies they opt for. Revolit v Adam into turn 1, and I think it might be Revolit who will get the better exit here. Yeah, he gets better drive, and Revolit has managed those medium. Revolit's tire wear on the mediums is comparable to Adam's tire wear on the hards. However, for some reason, Revolit broke way too early into that corner there for some reason, and that is going to put him under pressure from Janik. Well, it seems like some of the drivers have had a bit of a heat wave pass through their rooms during the race, and I can't blame them. This was a very annoying season for all of us. It's very, very hot, but I'm assuming for you guys it's Europe, so I'm wondering what exactly, how hot it is over there for you guys. Janik trying the move down the inside. So something that Janik will be keen to hear is that he can go into the softs in I think about 2 laps or so. Obviously the mediums will not get to the end. So he gets past Revolut. Revolut is really struggling with tires. Slavman is gonna stay out, and Adam is also going to stay out. Janik obviously will stay out. Revolut is pitting. He was really struggling. And let's have a look at his entry into the pit lane. Seems to be pretty clean. He doesn't need to worry about anything. Fred has stayed out for another lap. Morrison's tires are already, well, his front left is quite worn out. Tetro, the thing is, all this might just leave Tetro in the lead of the race by the end of the strategy battle. NTO is a long ways back from the Jaguar. JP in P8, Jin in P9. I think JP is gonna have a bit of issues with his tires before the end of the race. So it seems to be wearing out pretty quickly. Moncon has come out behind the Genesis wear. McLovin's tumbling down the order. He's not having a very good time. Revolut has opted for the softs. That's a smart call. It's I think 8 laps to go, so it's doable for him. Up front, I'm very keen to see when the hard runners pit and what Morrison opts to do. When does he pit? Slavman is approaching the final corner. I would assume that he will be pitting on this lap given his fuel condition. It doesn't make sense for him to stay out for too much longer. And I think he will pit. No, Slavman is going to soldier on for at least one more lap. Adam might pit. Adam is pitting. Janik stays out, but he will have to come into the pits within the next few laps. Fred is also going to stay out. Morrison does not. Well, he does not need to pit. He doesn't need to pit for fuel, but I think he'll have to come into the pits within the next lap, 2 laps. He needs to leave ample time for him to retake all the positions that he's about to lose due to his pit stop. I would have expected Slavman to pit, but I'm assuming he wants to go onto the softs, possibly. I thought he would have played it safe and gone onto the mediums, but he is running on fumes effectively. You can see his fuel level there. His tank is almost empty. Janik will have to pit for a fresh set of tires. Fred and Morrison will have to do it in a few laps, but Fred, Janik and Slavman, I'm assuming they will be coming into the pits very soon. Morrison's close to Fred, and further back there's a bit of a field spread here. Moncon got past Jin. I think he is gonna be wanting to get past JP as well at the earliest available point of asking. Taking the alternative line is JP. Going a little bit wide. Are we going to see Moncon overtake the Genesis driver into the braking zone? I think we may just be able to do so. That's a beautiful backdrop of Mount Fuji. I hope that is the case. It's not on the other side, but that's a very picturesque racetrack. And are we going to see Slavman into the pit lane? Janik into the pit lane. Nope, Janik stays out. I thought for a moment he was going to pit. And that's Fred into the pit lane as well. Slavman has run out of fuel, so I think he left it a little bit too late. Fred is gonna, I think, get into the pits with 1 unit of fuel. I don't know what exactly is the right term. 2 units of fuel. Morrison pits. So he is getting rid of these soft tires. I would have thought he would have gone another lap, but he's obviously not wanting to do that. And this has left Tetropolis with a comfortable lead, I'd say, right now. Morrison will have to get past a lot of drivers in order to get back to where he was. Does he have enough laps to do so? He is going to come out in 13th, I think. No, he's going to come out in P11 actually. He's jumped Fred in the pit lane. And there you go. All these guys are going to be on the softs, I'm assuming. No doubt in that. Slavman has pitted. He is down to P8. He has to get past quite a bit of traffic here. Adam, Jin, JP and Moncon for starters, and then he has to get past NTO before he gets close to his teammate. Tetro is having I think he'll be pretty pleased with how his race is going. Janik should be pitting about now. I think he'll not have to take on a whole lot of fuel either. So I think coming into the pits is Janik. So where is this going to leave him? Because I'm very keen to see this. He may just will he come out in the lead by chance? Into the pits comes Janik. Tetro's just exited the last corner and he's blasting down the main straight. He's about to start lap 20. Janik into the pit lane. And he's not yet reached his pit box. Soft tires? Yeah, no, he's not going to be ahead of Tetro. But what about, well, where is he going to emerge? He'll take on a little bit of fuel and Janik will exit the pits. Where will he do so? So that's going to teleport him to a very promising P4. JP gets past him, but look at the state of JP's tires. I have no doubt that, yeah, Janik's on the softs, no doubt about it. And he is going to brake late and keep his position. No, there's contact between Janik and JP. The two drivers with J as the first letter are having a bit of a skirmish here. JP I think he made a bit of a mistake there, and look at who's joining the fray here. Adam, oh, there's contact, and that's going to force Janik wide, and he's not going to be very happy with that. Whoa, there is a lot of contact between Janik and JP. JP is very feisty. He doesn't want to let those around him pass with ease. He wants to make them work for it. Into the braking zone we go. JP tries to move down the inside, but decides against it. Janik could still get a podium here, mind you. It's not all over yet for him. Slavman, he's got past Revolut, or was he ahead of Revolut? I can't really remember. Janik will be very keen to get past Adam, however. Both of them are on the soft tires. And with the pace they've shown, I'm really keen to see how Janik is able to make the moves here, drifting through the last corner. Janik. JP trying to break the slipstream. Slavman. Is JP pitting? Or is he just trying to break the slipstream there? Oh, he's pitting. JP will not be able to get to the end on that set. I thought he might just be able to nurse the tires to the finish line. Slavman up into P6. Janik and Adam battling it out. There's contact between them. And Adam hangs on to P4. Moncon is in a decent position. NTO's on the hards. He's in P2. Tetro is rather comfortably in the lead. So Team Jaguar have driven a fantastic race, I must say. Slavman won the sprint. Tetro is looking set to win the feature. NTO might just be able to hold off Moncon. Mercedes v Mercedes. Adam and Janik, who's going to emerge on top in this battle? The Hungarian versus the Brit. Janik, is he going to go for an aggressive move? What about Slavman? We can't discount Slavman either. The Jaguar seems to have amazing pace in this final part of the race. Tetro is leading quite comfortably. Slavman might just be able to make a move. What's going on here? NTO v Moncon. I think I said that NTO would be able to hold off Moncon, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Moncon is very feisty on those medium tires. NTO on those old hards will be struggling. Morrison is quite a ways back. I think he's in P10, I think. We'll have a look in a moment because we are going to see a possible move being made here as we start lap 22 going towards turn 1. NTO v Moncon. Which Mercedes is going to emerge in P2 once we exit the first corner of the racetrack. As we go into the corner, NTO tries a switchback, but I think it might just be Moncon who's got the better exit here. And he seems to be ahead slightly of NTO, and there you go. Moncon's also got a purple sector, so he'll be happy with that. NTO falls to P3. His hard tires are not hanging on the way he'd like them to. And Janik has passed Adam. We'll have a look at that as well. So, did I miss that? Yeah, I did. So, alright, it's a straightforward move there for Janik into the last corner. Slavman, well, he's not able to make up ground in the way I expected him to. And he is still in P6 behind Adam, Janik. NTO's battling it out with Moncon, although the tires are relatively similar. If anything, NTO's tires are in worse condition despite the harder compounds. So I think NTO will just want to bring the car home. However, there's a very feisty and a very, very quick Janik right behind him. Tetro, you can see here the lead he's got. He's got a comfortable advantage here. He can just bring the car home, no penalties, keeping it within the white lines. Moncon and NTO still very close to one another. Line is turned as we exit the chicane here. Janik, he'll be keen to make a move. He's getting close to the rear of the Mercedes there, rear of the Purple Beast. And into the left hand we go, braking zone. And Janik is sliding around. He is eager to get past the pair of them and goes for the inside line. And I think he's made the move. Indeed he has. He is past NTO and up into P3. And it might just be P2 as we exit turn 1. Janik's got a pretty good exit here. He's got the slipstream, and Moncon's P2 seems to be there for the taking. He's also taken the fastest lap as Janik. He seems to be coming alive here. Tetro cannot really hang back and enjoy right now because Janik in these final 2 laps may just be able to close up to and cause some trouble to Tetro for this. There was a bit of wheel banging there between Moncon and Janik. NTO's got back into P3 as a result. However, Moncon's there and Moncon's taken P3 and Adam's keen to take P4, my apologies, he is in P5. NTO's not having a very good time here, and as we exit the corner, NTO doesn't have a lot of grip to play around with, loses P4 to Adam. Slavman's not been able to make moves in the way he would have liked to. NTO can't do a whole lot, he's on old hard tires. Adam through the chicane. Moncon's made a bit of a mistake, I think, because Slavman, has he? Let's have a look. Exiting the chicane. So, Janik can see Tetro in the distance there. I think it's too much of a distance to cover up. Let's see. No, Moncon did not make a mistake there. My apologies. That was a wrong call out. So, approaching the final few corners of the racetrack for the penultimate time. The battle is not over yet. We have Adam vying for the final podium position. Slavman with a penalty. NTO struggling, but he still has a lot of tires to play around with. Anything's possible, and we are about to start the final lap of this rather entertaining Fuji switcher race. 24 laps, and it will, I think, come down to the last lap for the podium places. NTO's got a good exit, he's got a good run, he's got some very nice slipstream as well. But will he be able to pass Adam into turn 1 we go? Adam, has he messed up his braking? He may just have done so because NTO's been able to complete the switch back and get ahead of the Porsche. However, Adam's feisty and Adam's looking to make the move, and he's made the move on NTO. He retakes the position that he's lost on the first corner. Slavman, he's not had the similar success that he did in the sprint. Adam's tires may be wearing out, but it's just in time. He's on the final lap of the race. All he needs to do is just bring the car home ahead of NTO. Moncon, I think, will be able to he'll be able to hold on to P3. Janik got close, but not close enough to Tetro. He has managed to bridge the gap quite a bit, I must say. That's Very good pace by the Mercedes here. And what's going on between NTO and Slavman? Is Slavman trying to go for a move in these final three corners? This is the last opportunity that he'll get to make a move in this race. Janik, you can see how close he's gonna get to Tetropolis, but it's just not meant to be. Tetropolis has chosen the correct strategy here, and he is going to just blast onto the start finish straight, and he is gonna take a very well deserved victory. Well done, Tetropolis. G Nick with a good strategy finishes P2. Monkon holds on to P3. Adam takes P4. NTO will stay ahead of Slavman. Revelit has quietly finished in P7. Jin tumbles on the order, finishes in P8 after that spin. Morrison will not be happy. He finishes P9 and he's got a puncture. The strategy is really not paid off for him. Fred in P10. Bit of a quiet race for Fred. McLovin, it seemed like it was going to be a top 6 possibly for him, but it ends in P11. JP is P12, and Eric of Canada is a long way back, but he will finish in 13th and bring the car home. And NTO says that I should have a look at the start of the last lap. Well, where is NTO? Obviously, I will do so. So, alright, I think I did miss this. So, NTO v Adam as we start the final lap. Are we gonna see NTO attempt to move around the outside? Did we not follow this? Adam went a bit deep and NTO with a good switch back here. I think we did cover this, right? Oh, never mind. Alright. So, okay, a little confusion for me there. But nonetheless, now you see it's the end of the race. And there you go, Eric is the final finisher. And there you go, an interesting feature race here at Fuji. Well, once again, I thank the drivers for giving us such entertainment. We're gonna have one last round this season. We're gonna have the race around Daytona next week, which I should hopefully be able to cover as soon as I can. I hope to do it within the week or so. But there you go. Actually, I must apologize for over the course of the entire season, I've not once mentioned the drivers and constructors standings. So I'll just have a look at this before we shut the stream. So, alright, exiting Fuji, the top 2 in the championship are... Okay, who is Doslayer? The Nissan. I think there's a few different names being used here. Doslayer is P1. He's on 217 points, and we have Morrison in P2 on 214 points. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I think Doslayer is it's Zelda. I think that's Zelda. Yeah, HK's teammate. That's how I remember it. And there's no battle for the constructors that I can see. It's AMG who seem to have taken the championship in a pretty dominant fashion. And thank you for your kind words, Morrison and NTO. And thank you, NTO, for uploading the replay. Much appreciated. I'm trying to see if there's any battles for position. I think there's going to be a battle between the Nissan and the Genesis for P3 in the final round. Yes, Purple Beast Constructors Champion. So I've not mentioned any of that. My apologies. Congratulations to the Purple Beast team. That would be... Well, they've not had a very good race here, but they have had a very good season. So we have NTO and we have Morrison, who've had a brilliant season, and they've taken the Constructors Championship. So very well done to them. And I'm just trying to see if I can spot any other possible battles. So we have a battle for, it's battle for P3, Jin versus Tetropolis. Slavman's also there in the mix, and we might also see Adam keen to challenge for that P3, although he'll have to get a very good weekend. Jin is on 153 points, Tetro's on 152. This is the driver standings. Slavman is on 142. So P3, 4, and 5 are separated by 11 points. Is it? Yeah, it's 11 points. 153 and 142 is 11. So my maths was right. And Morrison, no, Adams a little further behind. He's on 135 points. So it'll be interesting to see how the championship plays out after the final round. All of this is obviously pending steward's inquiry. But nonetheless, thank you for tuning in to the Fuji stream. We'll be here next week with the Daytona stream, which will be the final round of the season. Until then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.